Welcome, ladies and gents. Chris Andre here. You can find me at BetBoxing on Twitter for boxing-related tweets, or you can subscribe to the channel, click on that notification button, and whenever a new video is uploaded, you guys can get a ping to your device to check it out. I want to talk about the second topic of the three that I'm bringing up tonight. The first one was about Tyson Fury and certain comments people made that are close to him, which might suggest that they feel that Anthony Joshua is now a bigger threat to Fury than he used to be. Please check out that video. Let me know if you think I'm reading in between the lines, and if not, how you think it will affect Tyson Fury. Will it spur him on, or will it hold him back, or will it affect him mentally, put seeds of doubt in his mind? Check it out. Let me know. This particular topic, the second topic of the night, is about Conor Benn. Adam Catterall, who's a very likable and popular reporter here in the United Kingdom. He is he's on BT Sport as well, but I personally know him most as a presenter on Talk Sport, which is a radio station, and he has uploaded a video of Conor Benn, who is grappling like a lesson. It's almost like a lesson. He's having a bit of a grappling lesson with Darren Till, the UFC fighter. Now, Darren Till looks twice the size of him, right? And it's almost reminiscent of like that scene from Lion King. For those of you that might have watched it when you were kids, where Mufasa's messing around with Simba. I think I'm thinking of the right movie. Just like throwing him around. There's such a big size difference between the two, and it's a really nice video. It's almost like a son and a father training together. That's what it looks like. Darren Till is obviously taking it easy. He's not. There's no arrogance there whatsoever. He's just teaching Conor stuff, and Conor's like really excitable and looks like he really wants to learn. And he's a really likable kid, Conor. I really like him. I think, I'd love to see him have a big future ahead of him. He's a fast learner. He's been working really hard in the gym. His latest performance I thought was very, very good. He's developed this shotgun jab, very different to the kid that was just always looking to get mid-range and close range and just wing punches as hard as he could. He's shown a lot more to his game now, and he's improving. And that has led to someone who I'm not going to mention their name because they're not a follower or anything like that, and they didn't reply to me. So I'm not out here trying to, I'm not picking on anyone or anything. We're just discussing what this potentially is all about and the relevance of this. Because this particular person just wrote, why? When he has a very good boxing career ahead of him, I don't see the point in this. So the logic there is he's wasting time training, grappling, something else on the ground when he could be honing his boxing skills, and that's a waste of time. Well, there are a couple of different points I'd like to make to that. Firstly, a very basic one. Just because he had a little mess around today on the mat with Darren Till, it doesn't mean he's wasting his time. This could be spare time. I mean, if you saw him playing a game of football or a game of basketball or something, you're not going to think, oh, he's quit boxing to become a basketball player. Okay, he just might be having a bit of fun. But if he is taking this more seriously, and he's going to start doing it more frequently, this is not a bad thing. This is beneficial for his boxing career. And I'll explain why. Inside fighting is a massive part of the sport. It's a very, very important part of the sport. Okay, we've seen the real specialists with it, like Andre Ward, for instance, who it's helped make Errol Spence. It's helped make their game. If you take that away from them, they're not as effective. And there are certain transferable skills you can get. I spoke in the last video, the one before last, when we were talking about AJ. I mentioned Golovkin and the head control he brings, or how he escapes from underhooks and stuff like that. Well, underhooks are used a lot in wrestling. Okay, when Lomachenko lost to Salido, one of the things he started to do was Greco-Roman wrestling. He started to practice it a bit. And there was footage of him online suplexing people. Right? You have many Russian fighters that will do sambo. Look, I mean, I'm of Greek origin, so I'm a little bit biased in thinking, how much I rate Greco-Roman wrestling, maybe, because I think it's an unbelievable martial art, and because it's of Greek origin, I might be a bit biased in that, because I was raised being taught this is a quality martial art. But jiu-jitsu's another one. Chris Ackers asked, what about judo? Judo, I'm not so sure transfers as well, maybe in terms of leverage, generating leverage and things like that, manipulation. He used the analogy of what if he's being used to turn you off the ropes, to turn someone off the ropes, maybe. But because there's a lot of clothing grappling, I don't think it's as good as the other two. Greco-Roman wrestling, I know jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu gets a lot of the plaudits in the UFC. It's the thing that's in fashion. But the martial art that has actually produced more world champions in the UFC than any other martial art is Greco-Roman wrestling. And with jiu-jitsu, because there are a lot of locks, you can learn a lot from that too. But because there are a lot of locks, again, it's not quite as transferable, whereas Greco-Roman wrestling is about the manipulation, the body manipulation of your opponent. And on the inside, that can be vital. So I'm all for this. David Haye, when he was going to train for Derek Chisora, he actually went to London Shoot Fight in a school in London, which has various grappling arts, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, so on and so forth. And he trained in that to be able to deal with the sort of physicality that Derek Chisora might bring. Since then, he's now managing Derek Chisora's career. Well, guess where Derek Chisora is training often? He's training at the same gym. So you'd have seen him in MMA gear. He's doing wrestling. He's doing jiu-jitsu. He's practicing it. These things help you on the inside. There are many transferable skills, even if it's not from the martial arts. Lomachenko, one of the best to ever do it in terms of skill set. It wasn't just Greco-Roman wrestling he did post-Toledo. Growing up, he took a break from boxing purposely with a view to box. From what I've read, he took an actual break as a teenager to learn Ukrainian folk dancing. And when you look at his feet, they're unbelievable. Where do you think he learned that sort of balance from? And it's not just in football. It's not just in basketball. It's in other sports too. Take football, for instance. I don't know if you guys remember a Premier League footballer called Lomana Lualua. Lualua used to do a type of dance until he was like 15, 16. He didn't play football until much later. One thing about Lualua, he was a very agile player. He'd score goals and do backflips and stuff. So the point is there are a lot of transferable skills with any physicality. But when it comes to a martial art, which involves grappling and body manipulation like Greco-Roman wrestling, that's 100% something you can bring into the sport because it can teach you how to manipulate an opponent's body, put him into certain positions. It can help you get out of certain positions and to free an arm and to let your hands go and do things like that on the inside. Like I said, Gennady Golovkin's head control is fantastic. So it's actually a really good thing if Conor is exploring this long term. I didn't see anything there to suggest that. There are a lot of cameras there. It seemed more like a photo op, so to speak. Let me know what you think, though. Do you know of any other fighters who you feel that played a huge part in their game? I know, obviously, Roberto Duran was fantastic on the inside. Do you think there was... Do you know if he did any specific other martial art or anything like that? Even non-grappling martial arts. You know, Wing Chun is something that I know that a couple of different fighters have dabbled with. Matt Skelton dabbled with Wing Chun. I know he was a domestic fighter. The way Manny Pacquiao throws certain punches, I wouldn't be surprised if Manny has dabbled with it. If you move over to the UFC, obviously that's mixed martial arts, so it's more natural to dabble with things. But he's dabbled with Wing Chun. Tony Ferguson, that is, has dabbled with Wing Chun, and he's one of the most beautiful fighters to watch fight. The point is, when it's at that short range, I know quite a few people that have studied Wing Chun, and at sort of mid to close range, their hand speed's unbelievable. They're very, very dangerous people from that mid to close range area. Their hands are superb. That delivery of that short power is something that can transfer into boxing. So let me know what you think about martial arts and transferable skills, and if you know any fighters that have done that. I know there are a lot of kickboxers, Dillian White. There's another guy, Vitaly Klitschko, of course. Lucas Brown. I know there are others, but do you know of any specific, especially grappling arts? I want to know if you know of any fighters that have engaged in grappling arts to develop their games. Thanks for watching. Chat to you soon. God bless.